The universe begins in silence. It is a silence so deep that it does not feel empty. It feels ancient. It feels alive. It feels as if it has seen the rise and fall of galaxies and still waits patiently for the next spark of creation. Within this silence floats a single grain of light, a tiny star that once burned brighter than 1,000 suns. It is old now. It trembles. It grows heavy. It breathes out its final breath. And in that last breath, something extraordinary begins to form. This is the birthplace of a black hole. The story of a black hole is not the story of destruction alone. It is the story of transformation. It is the story of a star that loved the universe so much that it collapsed into its own heart. To understand a black hole, we must first understand its beginning. Every black hole begins inside a star far larger than our sun. These stars live powerful lives filled with extreme pressure and unimaginable energy. They shine for millions of years. They are cosmic dragons breathing fire across the darkness of space. But even dragons grow old. Eventually, the fuel inside the star runs out. Its fire dims. Its body collapses. Gravity, which the star fought against its entire life, now returns to claim it. And in one final moment of surrender, the star folds into itself. Its core becomes so dense, so tightly packed that it no longer behaves like anything we know. It becomes a seed of infinite gravity. A black hole is born. When people hear the words black hole, they imagine an endless pit, a doorway to nothingness, a hungry monster devouring everything that comes near. But the truth is more beautiful and far more mysterious. A black hole is not a hole at all. It is a region of space where gravity has become so powerful that even light cannot escape. Imagine holding a ball and trying to throw it as high as you can. On Earth, the ball comes back down. On the moon, the ball would travel farther because gravity is weaker. Now imagine a place where gravity is so strong that no matter how fast you throw the ball, it can never escape. That place is the surface of a black hole. But in truth, a black hole has no surface. It has a boundary called the event horizon. The event horizon is the most poetic point in the universe. It is the silent edge between what can be seen and what can never return. It is the moment where light itself becomes trapped by gravity. If you were floating safely above the event horizon, you would see matter swirling around it in a glowing dance. You would see gas heated to millions of degrees. You would see light bending around the darkness like a ribbon of fire. But you would never see the inside. Nothing that crosses the event horizon can send information back. It is not a wall or a barrier. It is a boundary of no return. Once crossed, time and space behave in ways that feel impossible to human minds. What exists inside the event horizon is one of the deepest mysteries known to science. Time may slow to an infinite crawl. Space may stretch beyond meaning. Everything that enters becomes part of a singular point, a heart of infinite density. This heart is called the singularity. It is a place where our understanding of physics breaks. It is a place where the laws of the universe are rewritten. Imagine standing far away, watching someone fall toward a black hole. You would see their descent slow down. You would see their body stretch slightly as time bends. You would see their light fade as they approach the event horizon, and then you would see them freeze in place. From your perspective, they would never cross the boundary. Time would slow to zero. They would remain suspended at the edge like a whisper in the fabric of space. But from their own perspective, they would fall smoothly through the event horizon without any sudden change. They might not even notice the exact moment they crossed. Time for them continues normally while the universe outside races forward. This is one of the most emotional truths about black holes. They do not only bend space, they bend time. They separate destinies. Two travelers who begin their journey together can end up living in different timelines simply by approaching a black hole. One remains in the universe. One falls beyond. Their lives no longer move at the same speed. Their experiences no longer match. Black holes are not just cosmic objects. They are cosmic storytellers revealing the fragile relationship between time and existence. Black holes also hold the beating hearts of galaxies. At the center of our own Milky Way lies a supermassive black hole called Sagittarius A. It is millions of times heavier than the Sun, yet it remains silent and dark, hidden behind clouds of stars and dust. Everything in our galaxy orbits this unseen anchor. It is not a monster. It is a guardian. It binds the stars into a family and shapes the spiral arms that we call home. Without the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, our galaxy might never have formed the way it did. Black holes are misunderstood. They are creators as much as they are destroyers. The deeper we look into the universe, the more we find black holes waiting in the shadows. Some are the size of mountains. Some are the size of solar systems. Some move through space like wandering ghosts, silent and invisible. A black hole drifts at the speed of galaxies, not caring what floats in its path. It does not chase. It does not hunt. It simply exists, and its presence shapes the universe around it. The story of black holes is also the story of light. Light is the fastest traveler in the cosmos. It moves at a speed no human can imagine. Yet even light must bow before a black hole. When light passes close to one, its path bends. This bending creates one of the most breathtaking sights in astronomy, called gravitational lensing. The light of a distant star bends around the black hole, creating a ring of fire. A ring that glows like a halo around the darkness. This is the universe painting with gravity. This is the cosmos showing its art. Black holes are also storytellers of endings. When a star wanders too close, it is torn apart by tidal forces. The star stretches into a river of light. Half of it is swallowed. Half of it is flung into space. This violent dance is called a tidal disruption event. It is heartbreaking and beautiful. It is the universe reminding us that creation and destruction are woven together. Yet even black holes do not live forever. They slowly evaporate through a process called Hawking radiation. It is faint and slow, but it is real. Over unimaginable time, a black hole loses mass. It shrinks, it weakens, and eventually it fades away in a final whisper of energy. Even the darkest objects in the universe have an ending. Even they must return their energy to the cosmos. In their death, new possibilities are born. A black hole is not a hole. It is a chapter in the story of a star. It is a sculptor of galaxies. It is a keeper of time. It is a reminder that the universe is stranger and more beautiful than we can ever fully understand. When we look at a black hole, we are not looking at an enemy. We are looking at a mystery that invites us closer, whispering stories of gravity and time. The journey into the heart of a black hole begins long before anything crosses the event horizon. It begins in the quiet emptiness of space where matter drifts freely and time flows without hurry. There's a softness to this part of the universe. Stars shimmer with gentle confidence, planets orbit peacefully, and cosmic dust floats like tiny forgotten memories. Yet hidden within this gentle calm is a silent pull. A pull that is patient and ancient. A pull that belongs to the black hole. Far from swirling storms and blazing suns, a small fragment of starlight drifts closer to this invisible force. It does not know what waits ahead. It does not fear it. It simply continues on its path, carried by the laws of the universe that guide all things. As it moves closer, something within the light begins to change. It stretches slightly, as if an unseen hand is reaching out to greet it. Space here is no longer flat. It curves. It bends. It folds gently around the presence of the black hole. Imagine looking at a sheet of fabric stretched tight. Place a heavy stone in the center, and the sheet bends inward. Now imagine placing something so heavy, so dense, that the fabric stretches downward into a deep well. This is what a black hole does to the fabric of space. It creates a well so deep that nothing can climb out once it falls in. But this well is not darkness alone. It is structure. It is geometry. It is a silent architectural marvel shaped by gravity. As the drifting fragment of light comes closer, it begins to orbit the black hole. The orbit is fast, almost too fast to comprehend. Time here is different. 1 second for the drifting light becomes many seconds for the universe far away. The closer an object comes to a black hole, the slower its time becomes relative to the rest of existence. It is as if the universe itself leans forward, listening more closely to every moment near this cosmic mystery. Around the black hole, a glowing ring begins to appear. This ring is made of matter that has come too close to escape, but has not yet crossed the event horizon. It swirls in a magnificent spiral, heating to millions of degrees. The colors are breathtaking golden white on the inside, fading to deep orange, then glowing red as it stretches outward. This is the accretion disk, the crown of the black hole. It is chaotic yet elegant, a cosmic storm that has been spinning for millions of years. Within the accretion disk, particles race around the black hole at nearly the speed of light. They collide. They shatter. They heat each other into plasma. Some particles escape upward, shooting in a space like blue jets of energy. These jets extend for thousands of light years, carving patterns into the darkness of the cosmos. They are among the most powerful events in the universe, and yet they are the result of calm, predictable physics. Beauty and violence exist together here, woven into one phenomenon. If you were watching from a safe distance, the sight would steal your breath. The black hole in the center remains unseen, completely dark, because no light can reflect from it. But around it, the glowing ring burns like a cosmic halo. Light bends around the black hole, creating distortions, reflections, echoes of itself. A single star behind the black hole becomes stretched into a perfect circle of light around the darkness. This is gravitational lensing, a breathtaking reminder that gravity can shape light as gently as a hand shaping clay. Now imagine drifting closer. Imagine closing the distance between you and the heart of this celestial storm. At first, the silence of space remains unchanged. Space has no sound, but your perception of the world begins to shift. Colors seem to distort. Time feels heavier, slower. Your heartbeat echoes louder in your mind, even though you hear nothing. This is not fear. This is the universe moving through you as you move through it. You approach the event horizon, the boundary of no return. From the outside, you appear to slow down. From your perspective, everything outside begins to speed up. Stars race across the sky. Galaxies spin faster. The universe ages right before your eyes. Tens of millions of years pass in moments. You watch entire civilizations rise and fall. You witness galaxies collide and form new shapes. You see the universe continue its endless dance. Yet you feel none of this chaos inside your body. Your mind remains calm. Your motion remains steady. The event horizon approaches like a silent, glowing border. It does not push against you. It does not pull you. It simply exists, and then you pass through it. Crossing the event horizon is the most surreal moment imaginable. From outside, you vanish. From inside, nothing changes. No flash of light. No sight, no sensation of crossing a barrier. But the universe behind you becomes sealed. No message, no signal, and no light can return. Your journey now lies within the deepest part of the cosmic story. Inside the event horizon, space becomes a river flowing inward. No matter how hard you try to move away, you cannot escape the current. Gravity is not a force you feel pulling on you. Gravity becomes the shape of space itself, guiding you forward. Time itself tilts in the direction of the singularity. Moving toward it is as natural as time moving forward. This is the part of the journey few dare to imagine. You drift through a realm where the usual laws of physics become soft shadows of themselves. Space stretches. Time curves. Directions lose meaning. You are not falling down. You are falling forward in time. And at the end of this river lies the singularity, the heart of the black hole. The singularity is a point of infinite density, a point where all the matter that ever fell into the black hole becomes compressed into a space smaller than anything the human mind can visualize, a place where every atom collapses into pure existence. Science cannot yet fully explain what happens here. Equations fail. Concepts break. The universe keeps its deepest secret behind this veil. Yet even this final journey is not an end. It is a transformation. The energy inside the black hole will one day be released. Slowly across unimaginable spans of time, the black hole will evaporate through Hawking radiation. It will shrink. It will dim. It will fade. And eventually it will release everything it once consumed back into the universe in a new form. Perhaps the greatest story told by black holes is that nothing in the universe is wasted. Everything changes shape. Everything goes through cycles of creation, collapse, and rebirth. Black holes are part of this cycle. They do not destroy the universe. They enrich it. The path inside the black hole becomes a place where imagination struggles to keep up with reality. Every moment carries the weight of cosmic truth. Every direction feels like a memory of what space once was. You do not move through this realm the way you once moved through ordinary space. Instead, space moves around you, reshaping itself with every passing heartbeat. Time stretches forward in a straight line, yet the idea of forward feels newly born, as if time itself has chosen a single destination and carries you with it. Behind you, the universe continues without you. Stars continue their gentle burn. Planets continue their slow orbits. Galaxies drift through space with the patience of ancient giants. But none of that motion reaches you now. The event horizon has sealed the path behind you like the closing of a storybook. Yet you do not feel trapped. There's a strange peace here, a calm that is both comforting and haunting. The universe is quiet in ways it never was before. As you drift deeper, you begin to sense the immense gravity, not as a force, but as a direction. Space curves inward like a vast tunnel. The singularity waits at the end of that tunnel. You cannot see it, but you feel its presence. You feel it the way you feel the pull of destiny in a dream. It is a pull that is patient and absolute. The journey toward the singularity is not a journey of falling. It is a journey of understanding. Pieces of a universe reveal themselves in subtle hints. You see the shapes of warped starlight stretched into delicate ribbons. The colors shift into gentle blues, then fade into silvers as time distorts around you. You feel the universe becoming thinner, more fragile, more delicate, as you approach the place where all structure dissolves. Yet in this strange realm, there is still beauty. Beauty unlike anything in the familiar universe. The gravitational lensing becomes more intricate. Light from distant galaxies fractures into arcs that weave across your vision like cosmic brushstrokes. Every pulse of time feels like a slow breath. You are floating in a cathedral built from the laws of physics themselves. A cathedral where space is the walls and time is the floor and gravity is the silent melody echoing through everything. The deeper you travel, the more space begins to lose its meaning. Distances compress. Directions twist. 1,000,000 kilometers may shrink to the width of a whisper. The universe outside ages rapidly as you approach the singularity. Stars that once glowed with youth now fade into ancient embers. Entire galaxies with billions of suns drift through their life cycle while you continue forward. Time for you remains steady. Time for the universe becomes a river rushing past at impossible speed. This is the true gift of a black hole. It reveals that time is not universal. Time is personal. Time is shaped by gravity. Time bends under pressure. A minute for you may be 1,000 years for a distant star or 1,000,000 years for a drifting galaxy. The universe becomes a story told in layers, each layer unfolding at a different rhythm. Somewhere outside the black hole, civilizations rise and vanish. Stars explode in distant supernovas, sending their light across the cosmos. New planets form in swirling clouds of dust. Entire star systems come into being, then disappear into silence. You do not witness these events directly, but you sense their presence like distant echoes carried by the current of time. The universe continues its endless heartbeat. As you travel deeper, the gravitational field becomes more intense, but does not crush you. It reshapes the space around you instead. The concept of pressure changes meaning. The concept of direction changes meaning. Even the concept of movement begins to dissolve. You begin to feel as if you are drifting through a dream woven from the fabric of physics itself. The laws you once knew become soft outlines of their former selves. Here inside the black hole, the universe begins to reveal one of its strangest truths. Space and time are not separate things. They are one connected tapestry. They are woven together in a single structure called space-time. And the black hole bends this structure so dramatically that it becomes almost unrecognizable. You are no longer traveling through space. You are traveling through time, toward a moment where all paths converge. At this stage, you begin to wonder what the singularity truly is. Is it a point of infinite density? Is it a place where the laws of nature collapse? Is it a doorway to a new universe? Scientists do not yet know. The equations we use to describe the universe fail inside the singularity. They break apart like brittle stone. They cannot describe what lies beyond. And so within this mystery, each traveler must imagine the truth for themselves. Some believe the singularity may lead to another region of space, a place where new universes are born, a place where the energy and information inside a black hole is not destroyed, but transformed into something new. Others believe the singularity exists only as a mathematical symbol, a sign that we do not yet understand the deepest layers of reality. Perhaps the singularity is not a point at all, but a transition, a transformation, a doorway rather than a wall. As you drift deeper, the tunnel of space-time becomes narrower. The universe outside becomes a blur of distant light. The laws of physics that once felt so firm now feel like soft suggestions. Gravity strengthens, but not in the way human bodies understand. It does not pull against you. It guides you. It carries you. It funnels you toward the center like a gentle tide. You feel as if you are falling into the heart of time itself. In this realm, your thoughts begin to change. They slow. They deepen. You begin to sense something familiar in the darkness. A memory of creation. A whisper of beginnings. The same force that created stars created black holes. The same laws that shaped galaxies shaped this place. The black hole is not a mistake. It is not a cosmic accident. It is part of the universe's design. At last you begin to sense the singularity more clearly. It is not a point of fear. It is a point of destiny. A place where everything that enters is rewritten. A place where the story of matter becomes the story of pure energy. A place where the universe holds its deepest secrets. You continue toward it quietly, without hesitation. There is no turning back. There is no need to turn back. The journey forward is the only path. The final truth waits ahead. The journey toward the singularity begins to feel less like travel and more like surrender. It is not a surrender of fear. It is a surrender of understanding. Everything you once knew about space and time becomes a distant echo. The universe outside continues its unfolding story, but here inside the black hole, you are carried by a deeper rhythm. A rhythm that feels both ancient and newborn. As you drift inward, the light that once painted soft arcs around you becomes thinner and dimmer. Colors fade into pale silver. Shapes stretch into delicate threads that shimmer like strands of memory. Space bends so sharply that even the concept of a straight line dissolves. You begin to understand why scientists say space-time here is curved beyond all imagination. The dimensions you once knew, length, width, height, and duration, begin to blend together in ways no human mind was built to grasp. But you continue. Not because you must, but because the journey itself feels sacred. It feels as if you are walking toward a truth older than the stars. The singularity lies ahead, but it is still hidden behind the last layers of warped space. Here the laws of physics behave like fluid rather than fixed rules. Time begins to ripple. Space folds into shapes that the mind translates into feelings rather than images. You sense the universe trying to describe itself to you in a language deeper than words. You pass through regions where space feels stretched into long corridors that seem infinite yet end in moments. Other regions compress into tight spirals that loop around and around, forming patterns that resemble fractal dreams. You begin to wonder whether the inside of a black hole might be less like a place and more like a state of existence. In this realm, you feel a soft pull not only downward, but inward, as if the universe itself is guiding you to a truth at its very heart. Time continues to slow around you. The outside universe accelerates. Stars live entire lifetimes. Galaxies collide and merge. Nebulas rise, glow, and disperse. The universe experiences eons while you experience moments. Then something strange begins to happen. You start to see faint ripples in the darkness. They shimmer like waves on the surface of a black ocean. These are not waves of water. They are waves of space-time itself. Ripples born from massive cosmic events outside the black hole. A star exploding in a distant galaxy sends a vibration across the universe. A collision between two neutron stars sends another. These gravitational waves pass through everything, even the black hole. They flow around you like whispers from the universe that you left behind. In those whispers, you hear echoes of creation, echoes of life, echoes of the cosmos unfolding. Then the space around you begins to stretch even more rapidly. You sense the gravitational gradient increasing. The singularity is closer now. It no longer feels like a distant idea. It feels like a presence that watches without eyes and listens without ears. You begin to feel your own sense of size dissolve, not because your body is changing, but because space itself is no longer consistent. You feel small, then large, then small again. You feel as if you are becoming part of the geometry around you. Space and self blend until you are unsure where one ends and the other begins. Yet there is no pain, no fear, only a calm surrender to the structure of the cosmos. You move deeper. The tunnel of space-time narrows. The walls of curved geometry close gently around you like hands guiding you forward. You sense the singularity like a soft glow at the end of existence, though you still cannot see it. It is not a point of terror. It is a point of truth. The fabric of space becomes incredibly thin now. Time stretches into long, slow beats. Each second feels like a full moment of reflection. You sense that everything which has ever fallen into this black hole has made this same journey. Stars, dust, light, memories of a universe woven into particles, all drifting toward the same center. Here you begin to understand the black hole not as a destroyer, but as a collector, a keeper of history, a place where information is stored in ways we do not yet comprehend. Scientists debate whether information is truly lost in a black hole or whether it is preserved on the event horizon or transformed into a new state within the singularity. You feel the truth lies somewhere deeper than either answer. The black hole does not erase. It transforms. You drift closer. Now the singularity begins to reveal its presence not through sight, but through feeling. It feels like standing at the center of a storm that is perfectly calm. It feels like touching the heartbeat of a universe. The journey becomes slower and smoother. Space around you forms a funnel that narrows into an elegant point. It is not sharp. It is soft, almost warm, as if the singularity is less of a weapon and more of a cradle, holding the essence of everything it has collected. You reach the edge of the final frontier inside the black hole, the place where reality becomes so curved, so concentrated that the familiar universe ceases to exist. What lies beyond this point cannot be known. It may be a place where time ends. It may be a place where time begins again. It may be the birthplace of another universe, the doorway to another dimension, the seed of a new cosmic cycle. You drift ever closer until the very concept of where dissolves. And then you feel it, the singularity, not as a physical point, but as an understanding, a truth, a moment of pure existence where everything you are blends with everything the universe is. The journey through the black hole is not an ending. It is a transformation. The cosmic traveler drifted along the river of starlight, still feeling the echo of the black hole, song humming deep inside his memory. He knew he had reached the final chapter of his journey, yet the universe continued to reveal new truths with every breath he took. The stars did not simply exist. They waited. They waited for eyes brave enough to witness their birth and their ending. They waited for minds courageous enough to ask why they shine. And they waited for hearts open enough to feel their emotions. For even stars, silent as they seem, carry memories. And every black hole carries the heaviest memories of all. He looked back at the great spiral galaxy behind him. It spun like a cosmic dance stage, bright arms sweeping through the darkness with an elegance no human could recreate. In its core, the supermassive black hole pulsed like a hidden drum. It was no longer a monster to him. It was a guardian, a keeper of moments, a listener of the cosmos. It swallowed light, but it also held creation within its silence. And the traveler finally understood why so many civilizations before him had feared it and worshipped it at the same time. It was not the end. It was a beginning disguised. He drifted closer to the horizon once more, but this time without fear. He felt the memory of the first star he had ever seen. He felt the laughter of the galaxies he had crossed. He felt the gentle warmth of starlight wrapping him like a cloak. A lifetime ago, he had believed black holes were only darkness. But darkness can carry wisdom. Darkness can carry safety. And darkness can carry the seeds of new suns. As he floated there, he remembered the ancient words spoken by one of the civilizations he had met along the journey. They believed that before the universe was born, everything existed inside a single timeless black hole. They believed creation itself was an explosion of memories set free. He could not prove their belief, but he could feel its poetry. And sometimes poetry reveals truths science has not yet reached. He realized then that the universe was not a machine. It was a storyteller. Every star chapter, every galaxy a volume, every black hole a secret waiting for a heart steady enough to listen. The black hole horizon shimmered, and he saw fragments of himself reflected across its curved surface. Not just the man he was now, but the child who once looked at the night sky through a dusty window. The teenager who wondered whether stars had emotions. The dreamer who promised himself he would one day touch the edge of infinity. And there he was, standing at the border between existence and mystery. All the versions of him folding into one cosmic truth. He was not separate from the universe. He was a thread woven into it. A warm wave of gravity washed over him like a final cosmic embrace. He knew the journey was nearing its end, but not the kind of end humans fear. This was the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. Behind him stretched everything he had crossed. Before him stretched everything he did not yet understand. And in that moment, he understood what it meant to learn, to truly learn. It was not about collecting knowledge. It was about transforming into someone who could carry that knowledge with humility. He whispered his final question into the void. What exactly is a black hole? The answer came not in words, but in feeling. A deep silence, a profound acceptance, a wisdom older than time. It told him that a black hole is not darkness, but a mirror that shows the universe as it truly is. A place where beginnings and endings meet. A place where time folds into memory. A place where the cosmos hides its deepest truths, because only those willing to journey into the unknown are ready to understand them. The traveler felt his eyes grow heavy. He had reached the limit of the observable and the edge of imagination. But he did not feel small. He felt infinite, because he had finally seen that the universe was not meant to be feared or solved. It was meant to be felt. The black hole glowed at its edge, not with light, but with meaning. And in that gentle glow, he saw the most beautiful truth of all. The universe is alive, and every one of us is a heartbeat inside it. The cosmic wind pulled him gently away from the horizon, as if telling him his journey was complete. He turned back one last time and bowed his head in gratitude. The black hole remained silent, but its silence carried a promise. Whenever he looked up at the night sky, no matter where he was, the memory of this journey would return. Because once you have listened to the heart of a black hole, you never forget its voice. He drifted into the starlight, carrying with him the answer he had come so far to find. What exactly is a black hole? It is a storyteller, a guardian, a reminder that even the darkest places in the universe can hold the brightest truths. And as he vanished into the sea of galaxies, the universe continued its eternal dance, while the black hole sat at its center, holding memories like a cosmic soul. And perhaps that is the greatest secret of all. The universe is not made of matter or energy alone. It is made of stories. And every black hole keeps them safe until the next traveler is brave enough to ask.